All right, welcome back to another episode of Music NFT Radio Podcast. We're here with Alec Beckman, one of my best friends and business partners, and we're going to talk about how we first got into the blockchain industry, how we first got into crypto, Web3, NFTs back in 2016. So, super excited to be here, guys. If you're listening into the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, or any podcast site, make sure to subscribe, give it a like, give it a comment, show some love, and tap into the live show on Twitter Spaces. So we're live right now, and we're live every day on Twitter Spaces with the NFT Marketing Show. So tap in with Music NFT Radio and Music NFT Radio Podcast. And today, super happy to have Alec on the show to talk a little bit about the origin story, how I got started in Web3. And, together we've built some amazing things, built a business called Advantage Blockchain that all started in 2016. So what's up, Alec? Welcome to the show, my friend.
Amazing to be here as a friend, as a business partner, as a VIP crypto rich NFT holder. So many things, and yeah, really excited to be talking to you today, Dylan. We've been talking a lot about all the different paths that we've taken, but it's always great to look back at where we came from and how this all started. And it's a great story. So looking forward to getting into it with you today.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate the shout out as a Crypto Rich VIP. You've been one of the OG supporters of my NFT. And, we've been business partners before I even know that I was going to be able to bring my music into the blockchain. So it's really cool. You've been a big supporter the whole way. And, dude, ever since that day you called me and you were like, dude, I don't like my job. I want to quit this real estate job and I want to come into Web3 and I want to work on what you guys are doing with Advantage Blockchain, and I want to go into crypto full time. I mean, dude, ever since that day, I feel like it was an amazing decision, and we've only been elevating together, man. So that's a pretty cool story, and I wanna hear you tell it too. But I mean, let's really just
Absolutely.
hop in. Yeah, what was that? Go ahead.
Oh no, no, absolutely. I was just agreeing with you, and
Yeah.
just for context for people that want to know what happened before then and kind of what led up to that. So Dylan and a bunch of our friends had started investing in crypto back in the 2015, 2016 days. Very early, and one of our friends in particular, one of our business partners, his name's Mark Paquin. He started bringing this to our attention. Dylan and I were some of the first to listen to it. But out of college, while Dylan went more of the entrepreneurial route, Mark went more of the entrepreneurial route. They wanted to trade, they wanted to get involved in crypto, all these different blockchain projects. I went to go work in real estate, which was, a very boring decision, but
But you were
one,
with us every freaking day after
yeah,
work. We were degenning. I mean, we didn't even say degenning back then, but we were going crazy on the crypto books, man, every single day. And also, I want to mention part of the story. Mark Paquin, Cuss Pack. He first searched on Google how to get rich and found Ethereum. So we'll have to have him on another time to talk about really discovering ETH and everything else that led him to ultimately tell us we had to invest in crypto, right? And so I think that those early days when we were first learning about crypto, first talking about the ideas of it, if this could, really be a thing, could this magic internet money really take over the world? I mean, now compared to back then, it already has taken over the world, right? Because back then, I remember there was barely even an exchange. We had to go on to some weird sites to be able to even buy Ethereum tokens. It was all a lot different than it is today. But yeah, man, it was every single day. We were just there grinding, trading, at this time, just trading all the different coins. And this is before we had really put together Advantage Blockchain, totally officially as we have today as a business and as a startup. But I think it was around this time that we really started forming the idea of Advantage Blockchain, and we started having a space and an office where we were grinding every day. And yeah, man, then came that day where you ultimately called me. So yeah, tell that story, man. I mean, you were coming over there every day with us, grinding on crypto, putting in those overtime hours.
So for reference, they were in the this little house. There was like this back room. It was one of our friend's dad's properties, where there there were probably six people sitting around, just degenning, before degenning was a thing, and making crypto trades, discovering proof of stake, all these different concepts. And I saw this every day. And as Dylan mentioned, I was working a corporate job. I was wearing a suit to work every single day, and then afterwards, I would come and I would hang out with the team. We'd talk crypto, we'd trade crypto, and we'd figure out what we thought was going to be the next big thing. Um, and then, yeah, as time went on. 2017, the market was just booming. I could not focus on real estate anymore, and I was working on a deal, and I was like, why am I spending all this time on these deals? This is not what I love to do. This is not what I want to do. Also having a little bit of FOMO, being, going over to that office every day, seeing how much fun you guys were having, being your own boss, and that really appealed to me. So I literally called Dylan one day out of the blue. This was probably October 2017, and I was just like, "I'm ready to quit my job. Let's make this official. Let's go. Let's go build something great." So we ended up we met the next day. I literally quit the next day. I walked in, I grabbed all my stuff. I said, "I'm out of here. I'm gonna go try and focus on this crypto blockchain stuff." And we started Advantage Blockchain, which originally was meant to be a couple different things. One, a consulting company, to help companies implement blockchain solutions. Two, a hedge fund, which actually exists today, still under the name Advantage Blockchain. Um, and then, in addition to that, just a company that can help bring crypto to the masses, and help people where possible and discover things. And that led to a bunch of really cool projects, including one that I'm sure we'll talk about, Dill, called BitGreen, which was a project that still exists under new ownership, but it's a project that we initially launched in 2018, because Dill had discovered proof of stake, and he actually was working on a different project, and then we started to get to some of the other benefits of what proof of stake could provide, ending up leading to this project that we built. So Dill, I'll turn it back over to you. I want to see if I missed anything or anything that you
Yeah,
want
man,
to add
for
on to it.
sure. For sure. I mean, I think it's great, and it's amazing how this company really came together. But Advantage Blockchain, we originally just started because we wanted to educate more people and bring more people into crypto and Web3. And everything that's happened today has been a result of that. So ultimately, we knew there was an educational gap and that people really didn't understand the potential for this technology. So we've done everything from consulting to investing and trading and working with public and privately traded companies. We've worked with some pretty big players out there who we're still connected to. And yeah, ultimately leading down into real estate work and tokenization, which is some of the biggest stuff we've done at Advantage Blockchain. And so Alec really led the charge on that. And I definitely want to get into that more. But yeah, we can touch on BitGreen a little bit first because we founded that together and it was super exciting. And basically, I'm sure you guys haven't heard of it because I don't share about it too often compared to some other things because I've just done so many things here in crypto and Web3. But we started a project called Bitcoin Green, originally a proof of stake coin to focus on sustainability and supporting environmental projects and being a more environmentally friendly version of Bitcoin as its own blockchain using proof of stake. So we really wanted to support sustainability projects and bring something eco-friendly to the crypto space. And we started that project up originally 2016, 17, I think is when we really started getting into BitGreen. And yeah, it ended up building a super amazing organic community. It became a huge coin. A lot of people knew about it, especially in the proof of stake and masternode space. And it went on to be taken over by the community. And ultimately, it's a coin now called BitGreen that is focused on bringing sustainable solutions to the blockchain ecosystem and incentivizing sustainable behaviors around the world. So it's a pretty cool project. And there's actually a whole movement now, Alec, for regenerative finance that everyone's calling ReFi. I don't know if you've heard much about this, but it's a whole movement now. And people within that movement are very aware of BitGreen. So the project has definitely created a massive impact, and it's amazing to see that people in the community and everybody running it is now, you know, taking over this as a decentralized project. And I just love to see that because we were able to launch something amazing that's still going today and running as a decentralized crypto here in Web3.
Absolutely. And it completely led to what I think what we're both working on today, where you got the chance to really lead a project. And I know that you've led many projects, and I know that your big focus right now is in the music NFT space. I have to imagine that a lot of what we did back then led to that, and gave you the experience that allowed you to do this very successfully. Additionally, I think it led to what I'm doing today. So for those of you who don't know me, and it's great to be here and really speak to all of you. I'm a VIP holder of Dyl's NFTs, business partner, and we've done a lot of stuff together. Right now, I work very specifically in the digital security space. So I work with real world assets like real estate, private equity, venture that are all backed by blockchains. So pretty much what our goal is to take these private assets like real estate, which are really prohibitive for the regular investor to get in, and also lack liquidity. And what we do is we bring these to SEC and FINRA compliant secondary markets. So more investors, non-accredited investors, can be involved, as well as people who own these assets that have that need either an acquisition or going public to get their principal back. We're allowing them to go and trade those on secondary markets like a Binance. The only difference is they are all registered through FINRA to trade private securities. So it's a little bit more of a compliance game, but it's still using blockchain. The goal is still to democratize access to different types of assets. And one of the really cool things that we're working on is we're trying to bridge DeFi into this traditional finance world where people can own different assets like real estate. And as an individual equity holder, we're working on the ability to actually borrow against that to use for whatever use case people are looking for. But really just trying to improve liquidity across the board.
That's amazing, man, and it's really impressive and important stuff you're doing. You know, working on the super, approved and regulated side of the crypto industry. I mean, it's going to be massive, especially as this space continues to grow and scale up, and more people become interested in using blockchain for fundraising and stuff like that. But dude, it's also all connected to Advantage Blockchain, and I love the story of how we got started into real estate and how it connects to your background and stuff. So yeah, man, maybe you could just tell people, how it all started with Advantage Blockchain with you, after coming over from the real estate industry. I mean, you and Mark were just grinding there every single day, calling everybody in real estate and in blockchain, trying to make the connection.
Yeah, no, I love this segue. So I did work in real estate. Got a background, worked for both a REIT and a large brokerage before I ended up starting Advantage Blockchain with Dylan and Mark. So one of the things that we were working on was the consulting side. As I mentioned, we were trying to bring and bridge the gap between traditional finance and introducing blockchain based solutions. So I was pretty close with a real estate developer at the time. I'm still very close with him, but essentially started to have the conversation about blockchain. We started having him in our office a couple times, and he pretty much said, figure out how real estate and blockchain can intersect. And one of the cool things, and this company has pivoted greatly since then, but one of our friends sent us a white paper by a group called Trust Token. And Trust Token was the first group that really explored putting real world securities and real world assets on chain. And so we read this white paper. It was all very theoretical, talked about some of the compliance hurdles that needed to happen. It talked about a lot of the ways that this market could end up being created. So we ended up doing a project with this real estate developer. It was about a $300 million development deal of different properties like hotels and office properties. and we ended up connecting with a few different groups in the space, but one group in particular called Vertalo. And Vertalo is a tokenization platform. They are a transfer agent, which is a very, very boring part of the financial industry. If you're unfamiliar with what it is, they just hold the books and records of different assets. And essentially, we did this project with them, and they actually acquired the consulting company of Advantage Blockchain, and then brought Dylan, myself, and our other co-founder on, Mark, to go build out their real estate side of their business for a while. I was there for over 2 years. Not sure. I kind of forget how long Dylan and Mark were there. They were always meant to be more entrepreneurial than I was, so they went right back
I
into
was there
the.
about a year. So I was there about a year, man, and it was good. You know, I learned a lot. I think we both learned so much working there. And then I ultimately left after about a year to come into music NFTs full time when they first really started taking off. You know, we saw the potential, and they were very open to it as well. You know, they were very supportive in letting me go pursue music NFTs full time. You know, they saw the opportunity and they knew that I was a music artist already, so they knew that's what I was passionate about. So definitely got to shout them out because they were always very supportive, you know, of me when I wanted to go ahead and do music full time. So yeah, that it was great though, and I mean that was some of the best experience, best business experience that I personally ever had. So yeah, I thought it was amazing to be there.
That's great. Yeah. No, so all connecting to the story, and I was brought on back in May to a new position after a couple years at Bertalo. Now I'm the head of consulting at a company called Security Token Advisors. Just trying to help companies learn about the security token industry, helping issuers of securities. So again, real estate people, private equity, venture, use blockchain to issue their equity and ultimately lead to liquidity. But one of the cool things, I'd actually, now that we have a little bit of an audience here, Dylan, I'd love to mention a quick thing that I'm doing tonight. Actually, that's pretty related. So I'm doing a webinar tonight with the CEO and founder of a company called Freeport, and essentially what they're doing is they're tokenizing um, museum quality art like Andy Warhol paintings to allow anyone, that's not just accredited investors, it's not accredited investors, but anybody to be allowed to invest and own fractions of these pieces of art. So if as art goes, as an asset, it usually performs pretty well. So the ability to put in 10, 20, 100, $1,000 into these fractions of art. And one of the other things that they're doing is they're creating a 3D art gallery where you can have your art that you own on the security token side by side with your NFTs, which is really cool. And so we're actually doing a webinar tonight. I'd love to be able to post the link somewhere if anyone wants to sign up.
Awesome, man. Go ahead and pin it up to the top. Do you know how to pin something up to the top here in the space?
I don't. I'm not
So go
usually.
to the tweet that you want to pin, and then you click the share tweet button, which is next to the like button. It's the up arrow, and then you'll see the name of the room, NFT Marketing, at the top. So anytime you come in, you can pin something up for everybody to check out, and I'm sure we'll get some more and more people coming in here to tap in. But yeah, that's dope, man, and I love how you're. Bringing in the education and really onboarding people here into the Web3 space. So that's super important stuff, man. And that's what it's all about. You know, there's so many people that can benefit from this technology. They just don't understand it yet. And I think that's what we always knew with Advantage Blockchain. And both in our own, focuses, we're just really expanding that vision of helping more people understand how they can use the blockchain technology.
Absolutely. And again, I say this all the time, and the few times I've been in here, what Dylan has been able to accomplish and what, the road that he's taken, much different than the road that I took, even though we did a lot of the same things together. But always proud of him, and it's just always incredible to see the community that he has behind him, and all the stuff that he's working on in the music NFT space. It's really great to see one of your best friends and business partners just thriving at the things that he loves to do. So I always love to join these things, and I'm gonna make a bigger effort to join them more. Just usually they're usually tough on timing, but I need to make a better effort.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can always put something in your calendar so you can come in here more often. And today we got a pretty small show. Sometimes it takes a while to build up, but usually we'll get like 50 to 100 people in here, and we have some pretty solid rooms. So, yeah, man, just keep coming back anytime. Maybe add something to your calendar. But I've been trying to do the show every single day, usually around this time or in the morning. But I've been also switching it up here and there. But yeah, just like you did today, text me anytime and I'll let you know when the space is. And you're always welcome to come on in, man. And people are listening in on the podcast right now. If you haven't been into the live show on Music NFT Radio, definitely come in and hang out with us. See what it's all about with the NFT marketing show. We really support artists, communities, projects, and give everybody a chance to come in and tell their story and show off their work. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, Alec, it's amazing what you've accomplished as well. You've been super successful here, and now you're crushing it in Miami in Web3. I mean, you're truly a leader in Web3 real estate, and I think you've really made a name for yourself as well in that industry, working with some of the major players and stuff. So it's going to be a huge industry. I mean, where do you see the future of real estate and Web3 going?
Yeah, absolutely, and I really appreciate that Dill, and I see it just becoming a much larger industry right now. It's we're really in the early days where it's tough to convince a lot of traditional finance people to embrace Web3 and to embrace some of the incredible benefits that what we're doing can provide, such as liquidity, such as data transparency, such as on chain investor verification, which is really important and stuff that the SEC should be embracing. And it's a day by day thing, but we're making progress all the time. And personally, I see real estate investments and other securities being very easily available for purchase to any investor in the future. All using blockchains to help facilitate that. It really is the only thing that makes sense. It's cost effective. It adds a ton of benefits, and eventually the wealth and transfer will happen, and most of the real estate will be owned by people who are more comfortable with this technology. So it's a slow process, but we're moving every day. Last thing that I'll say before I gotta hop here, I'm more than happy to come back anytime. I just want to warn you, Dylan. I may tell some stories about some of the shenanigans that we've gotten involved with. Um,
Oh, dude, you can tell any stories you want, man. All we do is
yeah,
sit here and smoke weed and buy NFTs all day and fuck around. So, dude, you're always welcome to come in and share any stories. And I'm telling you, man, just keep coming back because it's a great way to just build your brand and be here in the community. And already, I know the project that you're working on now. A lot of people are going to be really interested in that. So, keep coming back, man. And the room is slowly growing up right now. So, yeah, if you want to come back after your call, definitely tap back in. We'll be here grinding. And thanks for coming in, man. This is pretty dope, and we're gonna have it on the podcast, so it'll be live soon, and you'll be able to actually go ahead on YouTube and see this. I just made up a really dope little thumbnail, so it's gonna be sweet, man. We just finished up a podcast. Let's go. So, Alec, thanks for coming in and being a part of the podcast, and keep coming back in here and grinding every day. We're definitely gonna help you grow with your personal brand, and I know that you're working with security token advisors now and getting webinars going and stuff like that. So the education is super important, guys. Follow Alec, and if you want to learn about real estate investing and how it's coming to crypto and Web3, tap in with Alec. He's truly an expert in the space. And if you're interested in real estate, or you have any real estate that you're interested in seeing some potential in Web3, or maybe you're interested as a potential investor, talk to Alec. He can connect you to real estate investments. He can connect you to people that can help you put your real estate into Web3 as well. So keep it up, Alec, and we're always happy to have you, my brother.
absolutely. Thank you as always, Dill. Thanks to everyone listening, and looking forward to coming back.
Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to everyone in here right now on the live show. That was another episode of Music NFT Radio Podcast. So if you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, or anywhere else, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and tap in with the podcast live. We're on Twitter Spaces every single day, guys. So follow Dyl, follow Music NFT Radio, tap into the show live on Twitter Spaces, become a part of the conversation. And that was a really awesome episode. You know, I'm always happy to talk about how I first got into crypto with Advantage Blockchain and one of my first ventures and businesses that I started here in Web3. So it's really led to everything that you see today and enabled me to accomplish the things that I'm doing right now with music NFTs and with building a community in Web3 for NFT marketing. So it's a very essential part of my story that I don't get to tell enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's keep it going. Let's keep the show going. So, yes, yes, much love to everybody in here right now. Retweet the room. We're gonna keep it growing and keep it going. And shout out to Music NFT Radio Podcast. We're going every single day, guys.